Here we go. We got one down right there.
This week on Kentucky Afield.
Take him, Bruce. There you go.
Get the grill ready because dove season is in and we're taking advantage of it.
Oh, you got him.
Next,
We've seen Kentucky bass, smallmouth bass, crappie.
we're tagging along with a crew from fisheries to see how they assess a fish kill. Then, our early wood duck season wouldn't be possible without this explosive effort from our friends in waterfowl. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit.
Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
There it goes! Boom!
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Right now, we're in beautiful eastern Kentucky elk hunting. But first up, we're headed to Shelby County for some fast-flying dove action. Here we go. We got one down right there. Dove number one. There's more work than it was supposed to be. Got all this nice cut corn, easy to find them. First one I shoot lands in the standing corn. That's how it goes. Here we go. That one will be easier to retrieve. So I'm here with Bruce Langley. Bruce, you farm all over the state of Kentucky, but this is one of the fields that you've already cut for corn.
Yeah, we chopped this field for silage, so it'll be feed for cattle.
Well, this is a perfect situation because you actually, we can't see it, but right over there you have a field that you actually planted to dove hunt on.
Yeah, there's a sunflower field that's about 300 yards that way, other side of the creek.
So my job today and your job is kind of keep these doves up so they don't land in this cornfield. Give those guys a really, really good hunt. And in turn, we should get a good hunt out of it ourselves.
Yeah. Here, Chad.
Take him, Bruce. There you go. Good shot.
That was an easy one.
That worked out perfect. That bird wanted to be on camera. Nice shot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You know, that's the great thing about dove hunting. It requires a shotgun and a minimal amount of gear, by your hunting license, your migratory bird permit, and fill out your hip survey, and you can come out here and have a blast.
And you can sit here and talk to somebody and not have to whisper, and it's usually good weather. You know, good temperatures, you're not freezing, so it's a good time.
It's a lot of fun. Hey, and they're hard to beat on the grill.
Oh man, wrap them dudes in some bacon.
Well, I'm already seeing tons of birds, and it's still early in the afternoon. I have a feeling that today is going to be a lot of fun.
I hope so. Good shot.
Thank you. Oh, you got him. Here we go.
I don't know who got that one.
I don't know either. It ended up being the one I switched over to.
Right there. I don't know who got him, but he's done.
He's down.
We talked about hunting the field yesterday. It is important to give the field a break, have a good shut-off time.
Yeah.
And if we stay out here till 7 o'clock and they can't come in and feed, you know, you're just hurting yourself. So you do need to give them some time to come in.
And that's why a lot of our public fields, they'll hunt a day or two and then they'll be off limits for a couple days. Bruce, tell me, what is it that you like about this the most?
I think it's just the camaraderie before and after, and you know, me and you are sitting here, we're hunting and we're talking, and we're having a successful hunt.
Oh yeah.
Nice weather, a lot of action, a lot of birds coming in on top of you.
A lot of shooting. There's
not too many things you can do, and you can yell at your buddy from across the field and tell him there's a bird coming, you know? Terry! It's just a different style. You know, September 1st is kind of first hunting season. I don't know, I like everything about it, really.
That joker was on top of it. This right here may be the dumbest bird in the county. It tried to land on that wire right above us.
Maybe he just been missed so many times, he's like, heck, they can't hit me.
You know what, this is pretty nice because we got 10 birds between us and we've had 0 non-recoveries.
Yeah.
Allow these birds to make sure they clear the corn.
Right here. Well, we both shot on it. Somebody got him.
So Bruce says he likes to employ the strategy where he likes to quit shooting at 7 so these birds have a chance to feed. So in Bruce's field, the early bird in the afternoon, the early bird doesn't get the worm. Early bird gets the lead. Well, we walked up here, took some higher ground. Needed 2 more birds to make a limit, and looks like we've limited out. What a great dove hunt. Tell you what, every year I get out here and do this, I always tell myself, why do I only hunt the first week of dove season and then quit? But for today, it was a great hunt, got my limit, and it's time to go to the barn for some fellowship. Located just over an hour's drive from Louisville, Lexington, and Covington, Kentucky River Wildlife Management Area is easily accessible to outdoorsmen and women from the central and northern part of the state. This WMA is relatively new, with its first 522-acre tract being purchased in 1992 and the most recent one added in 2014. Kentucky River WMA has a combined total of 3,643 acres on 6 different tracts of land that cover both Henry and Owen counties. A wide variety of habitats are present, from riverbanks, bottomland sloughs and fields, to upland fields and forest. Not all tracts adjoin, which means users must pay close attention to property lines and access points. Kentucky River WMA offers a variety of hunting and fishing opportunities. Deer, turkey, upland game, and waterfowl are plentiful. When it comes to fishing, most of the tracts offer access to the Kentucky River. Also, Benjiakinman Lake has a great reputation for producing solid size and numbers of bass, plus several other smaller ponds are nearby. The lakes are open under statewide regulations for fishing, but anglers must also follow additional rules posted at each lake. If you're into wildlife watching, you may also see muskrats, otters, beavers, turtles, herons, egrets, and even bald eagles, and there are a myriad of songbirds and small mammals along the riverbanks. The sloughs and adjoining crop fields provide opportunities for waterfowl, small game, and upland bird hunters. Several fields are prepared for public dove hunts each year, which numerous hunters enjoy in early September. Early fall also brings fox squirrels out of the timber to look for corn and sunflower seeds in the crop fields. Later in the fall, these same fields provide many opportunities to flush a covey of quail or maybe jump a rabbit. Each track on this WMA has 1 or 2 parking areas, and access is limited to foot traffic, with the exception of the Welch track, Hardin Bottoms. This track offers mobility impaired access to permit holders. Remember that public hunting area users must abide by the Kentucky hunting, trapping, and fishing regulations. For more information about this WMA, maps of the tracks, or the latest regulations, please visit our website at fw.ky.gov or call 1-800-858-1549. Many people have asked us how the department assesses a fish kill like the one that took place on the Kentucky River. Well, let's tag along with a couple of biologists and find out.
We're out here on the Kentucky River today. We're in Pool 1. We're assessing a fish kill that has occurred in the river, beginning some 40 miles upstream.
Lightning struck a bourbon warehouse, which led to a fire, which led to the collapse of that warehouse, which was right next to a creek where the bourbon was able to flow into the river. As the alcohol breaks down, as the bacteria breaks it down, it's going to utilize oxygen, and it's going to create a slug of dead water, basically, that's going to lead to these fish suffocating.
We've been working this fish kill since on or just after July 4th, and that was a few days after the spill and the material entered the Kentucky River. It took a while for that material to break down, and as you can see, we have a stream of fish that are dead and floating on the river.
We need to kind of follow and document where these fish are dying, where they're dead, and what we'll do is we'll come back and try to assess the loss of the resource, basically come back and count dead fish and try to come up with an estimate of numbers and weights, and which eventually we will use to seek reimbursement to the state for the loss of these fisheries.
So our crews, in addition to making these fish kill counts, they've been watching the leading edge of this plume. They're observing as this moves down that the fish are trying to escape it, trying to escape downstream, and they're seeing them actively struggle at the surface or on the side of the shoreline, trying to gulp air to survive. And they're not able to find fresh water in a tributary stream or to escape downstream, then they will succumb to it. Yeah, there's a bluegill, and we've seen some long ears as well. Looks like a little channel cat there.
We are seeing several catfish. A lot of what we're seeing are buffalo, suckers, drum, a lot of drum.
We've seen Kentucky bass, smallmouth bass, crappie.
That's 11 or 12-inch black crappie.
Moon eye, shad, red horse. We've seen some carp suckers.
It's a big flathead. Oh, a nice flathead.
There's another American eel right there. Interesting creature. In the upper pool, we're seeing, maybe 75–80% of the kill was drum, but down here we're seeing a good mixture.
Sauger there, highly sought after sport fish also that we do quite a bit of stocking of here. We stock sauger within several pools here on the river to help supplement that population. So it's a very popular fish for many anglers.
We saw the muskie. We're also seeing other species of fish and animals. We're seeing crayfish, of course, and crayfish are an aquatic animal. And fortunately for most of the crayfish, they're able to crawl up on the side of the bank and wait until it passes, and most of those are surviving.
Turtles and snakes and birds, it shouldn't cause any problems for. One nice thing that we do have in these situations are some of these streams that do feed into the Kentucky River. It does give a little bit of refuge because it's good water coming down for some fish to get up in, and we're seeing gar sitting up in here.
We have long Nose Gar. It's a common species here in the Kentucky River. Now we have seen some gar that have died, but by and large they're absent. But that may be a little deceiving too, because the gar sometimes when they die, they will sink. Some of the smaller fish, some of the cyprinids, the little minnows, there's a few of those that are surviving. We're not seeing a lot of those in the kill, so that may be a little bit of hopeful thinking right there.
Looks like we're getting toward the upper edge of the kill. Not seeing quite as many fish as we were a mile or two back. And again, that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for this upper edge to kind of determine where the beginning of the kill starts, and we'll follow it down to the other end.
We have 3 crews working this section of river today. They will be taking sub-samples throughout the length of this pool to estimate the total number of fish that have been killed by species, groups, and sizes.
22 inches. We're going to do a shoreline transect. Then we're going to just count fish that are along the shoreline of the bank, 10 foot off. Look at this thing. We don't have anything long enough to measure him.
I'd call him 45.
Big head Asian carp.
I've got 18 buffalo. I've got 3 Asian carp. Got 1 channel cat that's about 3 inches long, 2 flatheads, 3 minnows, and I've got about a 4-inch crappie.
The string is to try to measure the length of the segment. We'll run that out and then we'll make our open water transect.
They'll take 3 transects per river mile to count the fish in the open water section of the river.
We'll drive across the river and anything that falls within our 10-foot pipe will be counted. We got some flagging that holds off of it, and then we'll jump 3 miles up probably or past the other crews.
And then over the next few weeks after this follows up, we'll be doing the data analysis. And that information will be taken back to the office, and that data will then be converted and calculated to determine an estimated number of fish that were killed over the length of the kill.
We have a lot of different job duties working for the fisheries. Unfortunately, one of the things that's not so much fun is when we have to deal with a fish kill. And then down the road, trying to do some type of remediation to take care of some of the impacts that have been caused to the river.
Recovery will take time. Large predatory fish can take decades to recover. Sport fish can be raised in a fish hatchery and help supplement and speed along that recovery. However, many fish will have to recover on their own. It's important that all of us as individuals, landowners, businesses work together to prevent fish kills and learn from our mistakes.
Early wood duck season is in. Let's take a look at some of the work that has to take place that makes this season possible.
He's putting out the rocket charges, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the bait out. And we put the bait basically 2 foot from the net. It seems close, but that's how close you actually have to have them up next to the net to catch them.
For whatever reason, I was thinking they were going up, but they're not going up at all. They're really just shooting along the ground.
Well, the power of the rocket, like when we shoot, it's amazing. These T-posts will be almost at a 45-degree angle.
Really?
Because it's got that much force that it'll actually push the rocket. So when that propulsion hits, it's gonna shoot the rocket up high. It's much higher than what you would imagine.
So right now what we're doing is we're just opening up these rockets here. And once he gets the bait put out and we're ready to shoot the rockets, we'll put the rockets in, hook them up to the detonator cord, and we'll be ready to shoot the rockets off them.
But this is the most important part right here, is actually attaching the net to the rocket.
So we're here at Sloughs. This is my first time at the Sloughs WMA. How many acres is this WMA?
The entire WMA is roughly 11,000 acres.
Oh, wow.
Where we're at here is called the saw heaver unit.
Okay.
And the saw heaver unit is where our waterfowl refuge is at, and it's kind of where we do the most of our active management for waterfowl. All right, Greg, if you want to do a quick rundown behind me and just double check me. Clevises are all tight. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll walk back to the blind and we'll chest our connection with the galvanometer.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll be set.
So everything is set and ready to go. We've got our help and your biologist back there just waiting for the blast. Now it's just a waiting game. And it's not a waiting game to see a few birds show up. It's really, you're trying to maximize your numbers here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to time it of when we shoot the net, that we have the most number of birds up on the bait. They need to be pretty much a couple feet from the net to be confident that you can catch them, so they need to be right there up where we put the bait at. I'd say kind of up there feet right now, there's probably about 50 or 60. And I know it doesn't look like it, but they're not close enough yet to the net. What they'll usually do is they'll do that. And why they do that, it's actually not a bad thing. You know, as long as they stay close, which they did.
So what's back then?
I don't know. They'll do this 3 or 4 times. I think they just start getting kind of, they don't like being up on that sand away from the water. So you gotta be kind of quick on the draw when you pull the trigger, so that when they're coming up, that you can do it before they flush, because they'll give you maybe a minute or 2 before they'll do that. Hopefully those birds come back because that makes me nervous if they get up and actually fly away. They're coming right back. Guys, I might actually attach the detonator. I see some birds that from that left are starting to move up. So, more than likely from what I'm seeing, if we get another big push like that, I'm pulling the trigger. Because they fed quite a bit right there. So they might not give us another good shot. I don't think it's going to get much better than this. We got a few that are still in the water, but yeah, we got a vast majority of them against the net. And they've been feeding for quite a while, so I won't want to give them much of a chance. You guys ready?
Let's go. So what do you need to help?
Just kind of pull these nets out. Just make sure no birds are gonna get out or any ones that are tangled real bad. From what we had, that's a pretty good shot.
Oh, yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Oh, man. Some of them were, I mean, literally right up against
They were.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good, yourself?
Oh, pretty good.
That's trapping this morning.
Yeah, well, something different for me. Pretty cool.
All right, we got all the rockets. All right, guys, start picking.
So now the process, we've shot the rockets and we've got 100 and something ducks in here, most likely. And now the biologists will be pulling the ducks and bringing them over. And this is the banding station. And you can see here they've got 4 or 5 different categories: immature males, adult males, immature females, and adult females. And they're going to look at them right here, decide what they are, and then band it accordingly. And then once that happens, they'll turn these birds loose pretty quickly.
First bird wasn't until 5:30.
They've been late all summer though.
These new generation ducks.
These are millennial wood
Millennial
ducks.
ducks, yeah, they stay in bed a little late.
They had to stop and get their Starbucks coffee.
This is an immature male, and see how straight it is. Now on the females, they're more of a teardrop. V-notched. See how it's got a V-notch right here? That tells right off the bat that it's an immature.
You got a male and a female, both of them immature.
So Kentucky, Tennessee, and Florida, a lot of people don't realize, are the only 3 states in the country that have a early wood duck season.
Okay.
So us catching these wood ducks is extremely important, especially here in Kentucky, because without that banding data, we can't justify having the season. We really need to have these birds banded because we have such a high take during that September season. By getting these bands put on these birds, we can really monitor the population. We get a lot of people that come here to wood duck hunt in the early season. So we know how important that is to our sportsmen, and we know how important it is for us to continue to be able to have that opportunity for our sportsmen to get this data out. Because like I had said, without this data, we can't justify having that September season. So, for our sportsmen to have this opportunity, we know we got to put the work in.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have a nice bass that was caught from a farm pond in Oldham County by Jillian Bohannon. Nice fish. Now here's a family that knows how to spend some quality time. We have Weston and Carter Wright with their very first rabbits ever. Nice job. Here we have Shannon Rogers with a really nice crappie. That's some good eating right there. Congratulations. Here we have 7-year-old Jacob Adams and his dad Robert, who have been turkey hunting in Indiana. Nice turkey. Here we have a nice striper that was caught by Micah Riddle at Lake Cumberland. This fish was over 11 pounds. Nice job. Check out these two kids having fun. Here we have Christopher and Alexander Thompson, and they went fishing at the local farm pond. Nice job, boys. Hey, make sure you tune in a couple of weeks and see how this archery elk hunt unfolded. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.